like to welcome you to the Donnie Glover Show. Wow, what a week. I was in Annapolis yesterday hanging out with your state legislators. Did you know that every year for 90 days, the Maryland General Assembly convenes? Now you're talking about 47 state senators, 141 state delegates, and 3 statewide elected officials. They convene, they discuss 2,500 bills, some become law. And it's where things happen. Politics determines who gets what, when, and where, and what is the what? That's a great question. That's the scarce resources. Money, land, air. Who gets it? When we talk about mass incarceration, when we talk about public education, when we talk about black business, when we talk about STEM, and scientific research, when we talk about how all of these things interact and intersect with people of color, it's talking about you and the impact on your life. People say, I'm not into politics. Everything you do is political. Everything you touch, you say, any actions you take, whether you're driving your car, taking your kid to school, your child to school, it's all governed by some political policy, by something determined by the people that we have elected, people that we have voted for. So this should matter to you because it's about you. It's about you and your family. It's about you and your children and their education and the community in which they live and the resources that come to that community and the resources that have historically not come to certain communities. That's why you should watch this show, not just today, but every day. My name's Donnie Glover, and you keep watching the Donnie Glover Show. Today, our guest is David Heiber, and we're talking about his book, Concentricity. Okay, tell us about Concentricity.
Concentricity. Yeah,
Concentricity. Did you make it so that people would be able to say it fast?
Yeah, concentricity. It comes from Molefi Asante's Afrocentricity. So I had the unique pleasure of studying under Molefi Asante at Temple University.
For those of us who don't know, who was?
Molefi Asante is the modern-day father of Afrocentricity, African-American studies. And Afrocentricity, simplistically, is really putting Africans and Africans of the diaspora at the center of social phenomena. So when I was studying under him for my master's at Temple, and I was an administrator here in Baltimore City Schools, he was like, stop doing and regurgitating the same thing in education. He said, create your own thing. He said, what happens if we would actually put students at the center of what schools do? And he said, that's what you need to think about. And from that simple conversation that night after class came my theory of change about schools, concentricity. So 20 years later, I built the company, Concentric, that people have heard about, wrote the book One Door at a Time, which really talks about the what. But concentricity is a manual about the how, the hard work that goes into education.
So what would you say is the biggest challenge with America's educational system?
That it's about politics, it's about money, and it's not about the students. And it's supported by making sure that we do the right thing for adults and not students.
Did you expect anything different from America?
No. But I expect something from those people in position to do something about it, particularly on the ground level.
Well, in Baltimore City, we seem to be celebrating a school superintendent, and now she's the grand poobah Beyonce of public education. I think she's the superintendent of the millennium or the galaxy or the universe or something.
She didn't win. Brother Roosevelt, Nevin Roosevelt from Texas won that. From the
Did you find her to be a credible candidate?
Great question.
That was a great stall.
Great question.
We'll save that for later.
Great question.
We'll save that for later. Give us step one.
Step one is ask yourself, why are you doing this work? Is it a job or is it a calling? If it's a job,
let's be specific. The work of teaching or the work of teaching melanated people?
Teaching in general, but teaching melanated people, because it's not the systems are not designed. They're getting the results that they're supposed to. So they're not broken. Like everyone thinks that these systems are broken. The black and brown melanated students are not need a better system. No, the systems are putting us exactly where we are, right? And it's intended for that.
And where's that?
Oh, at the bottom. We're the bottom feeders. We're the bottom feeders so that the very few can eat off of us.
Are we the bottom feeders in reality?
Yes. Why would you say nothing to this?
I can't possibly be a bottom feeder. I come from kings and queens. I know who I am.
No, so yeah, we can go to ancient Kemet. You're absolutely
No,
right.
not ancient Kemet, to my mother and father.
The way that the system is built now, it puts us there. And it literally puts systems and structures in place so that it's very hard for us to climb that proverbial ladder. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. And the systems and structures are designed for that.
Well, maybe that's the problem. We have stopped thinking for ourselves.
I don't think we stop thinking for ourselves. I think we stop acting for ourselves. I think
Before you act, you got to think, though.
We're thinking about it, and then we don't act. We are literally submitted to the fears that we have.
That's a slave mentality.
Absolutely. So you and I are on the same page.
So things haven't changed much for some people.
We have an enslaved mentality. I would agree with that.
That's a general. Can you say because some of us have it that we all have a slave mentality?
No, there is. I think there's systems and structures that are put in place. Then I think what happens is you have an enslaved mentality, right? That's inherent. Some of us are set free, or some of us have more critical thinking, or given different opportunities, or whatever the case may be. However that comes about. But overall, what I've talked about is why are the systems in place to do that? And how can you deconstruct those systems?
Why are they in place like that?
Oh, because to have rich, you have to have poor, right? That's capitalism 101.
See, I thought you were going to talk about the mindset of scarcity versus the mindset of abundance.
You can have the mindset of abundance versus the mindset of scarcity.
I mean, that's what Europeans tend to have.
Yeah,
a mindset of scarcity and also a mindset of fear.
Oh, but they
insert that into this conversation.
Yes,
See, that's not my mindset. That's not my parents' mindset. That's their shit.
But
can you say shit?
Yeah, you can say shit.
Okay.
But that is exactly what they superimpose upon us through systems and structures. So you have the very few that break out of it. But overall, the majority of us are held captive by that until you break free. It's literally the matrix.
You have a passport.
Yes.
You can leave anytime you want.
Yeah, that's me.
So you're free.
That's me. No, I'm not free.
Sure you are. Why aren't you?
I'm not free.
You can move right now to Arusha, Tanzania, and nobody's holding a gun on you.
No, but there's systems and structures still in place here.
Leave.
No, I'm not. I can't take my whole family right now. So there's systems and structures in place that I have to.
It sounds like an excuse. Get up and leave. My former mother-in-law got up and left.
I understand. I don't think it's that binary and that easy. I don't believe it's that black and white.
Did you try?
Yeah, I've gone. Yeah, we've opened schools over in Ghana.
Why didn't you stay?
Because there's still people back here that we need.
You missed that Royal Farm fried chicken, bro.
Nah, not at all.
No.
I'm a vegetarian.
Yeah. Well, I would have missed Royal Farm fried chicken because I went to Arusha, and the only chicken I saw was the one the woman was holding next to me in the caravan.
Yeah. No, but
it was alive.
But I think
that chicken looked at me. I looked at that chicken, and I didn't know if to feel sorry for the chicken or for me because it was about 15 of us in the caravan. And guess where I was trying to go? To the city square to get some damn chicken.
Yeah. I mean, that's what.
But I was with some vegans over there. I will never do that again.
But no, the reason I wrote this book, particularly because of my experience here in Baltimore. So over 17 years, I did over 200,000 home visits across the city in person.
You should have run for office, all of them damn home visits.
Nah, you run for office, then you become part of the system.
Well, that's not always the case.
That's bullshit. I call Kete.
Okay.
Name one politician that isn't beholden to the fact that they just want to stay in power and get reelected. Name one.
Do you have to be an elected official to be a politician?
No, you said run for office.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. I said I just left Annapolis.
I'm a politician by knocking on the door, but I'm not going to run for office because the minute you run for office is the minute you're controlled.
You're being controlled.
Absolutely. Who are they not? Who's not being? Who's not being controlled?
You think Thurgood Marshall was controlled? Be careful, because we're in this building. I don't want this ghost to come out and slap you.
So first of all, shout out to the Alphas and shout out to Lincoln University. I share the alma mater with Thurgood Marshall. He was appointed for a lifelong
He went to school down in the basement.
I understand. Listen,
he was on this street. I was born on this street, so that make me and him like ghost buddies too.
Yes, right. And I pledged in the same valley where he got where he
and what's your fraternity?
I'm a Noop, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Okay.
Right, all Noops are Kappas, not all Kappas are Noops. But that's a whole different.
But I didn't understand how they become Greek. How you get Greeks out of Africans? And why would I want to be Greek? I'm black. I'm melanated.
But aren't you a Q?
No, I never pledged. I never pledged because one, the Qs. These
I thought you were a Q.
No, bro. I'm African. I'm
African
melanated.
Too. I'm African.
I didn't say African. Melanated.
I'm melanated.
And let me tell you why, because we're about to have a historical debate right here. I don't know if you knew you were walking into this.
It's okay.
Do we come from Africa?
Yes.
Have you traced your lineage back to Africa? You can name your great-great-great-great-grandparents.
All humanity goes back to ancient Kemet and Ethiopia.
But we got a long history right here on this land.
I understand that.
Do we know that history?
Probably not as well as we
because
should.
That's where we got.
Yeah. No, probably not. But that's not the question you asked. You said, "Are we all Africans?" Yes, we all. Humanity comes from ancient Africa.
But we have a strong, long history right here in these Americas, going back thousands of years.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But to answer your question, no, humanity comes from the cradle of civilization, which is Africa, right? So that's it, right?
I don't know. A lot of smart people come from right here.
I don't disagree with that, right? But I was going back directly to the question. But when we're talking about like what we've learned, or what I learned through 200,000 home visits in the city of Baltimore, not just good times, knocking on doors when it was pleasant, 365 through the pandemic, before the pandemic, after the pandemic. It's what we learned through those conversations with families and students is that they do not feel that education is for them or about them.
Do you buy that?
Absolutely.
Do you have kids?
Yes, I do.
Did they say that to you?
Yes.
And now where are they now?
They were taught differently.
Where are they now?
In college. But that's because what I supplemented at home. So when my children...
That's where it starts though,
no,
right?
But listen to what I'm saying. Education, formal education.
Starts at home.
Agreed. But what I'm speaking about is why students were not coming to school. That's why
because school's not built for them.
Correct.
They took out gym, they took out art, they took out music, they took out lunch.
Absolutely. Oh, but they took out some more than that.
Well,
that's
I shouldn't say lunch, but they took out the sticky buns.
And the cookies, the buttercream
I didn't
cookies.
like them. I like the sticky buns.
But that's just what you can pinpoint, the tangible things that they took out. What they took out was why...
Black teachers.
There you go.
75% of them under Andre Salonzo, the same one that sent us Santa Lisa. He got rid of 75% of the big mamas. 75% of the institutional knowledge that ran the Baltimore City public school system. People that graduated, people
who lived here, was going to be here.
Did you go to public school?
Yeah, I did.
What school?
From Delaware, William Penn.
Oh,
I came to Baltimore from undergrad because Baltimore City gave me the opportunity to teach. So
Delaware is nice too. You didn't like Delaware?
No.
Del State?
No. I wasn't a Del State person. I was a Lincoln person because Lincoln accepted me out of prison. So I got my GED and high school diploma in prison and then went to Lincoln. So that's where I learned. And that's where the professors literally crafted and put their arms around me and fed me when I didn't have meals or let me stay at their homes because I didn't have a house. So like that collective experience of being kicked out of
Are you a victim or a victor?
A victor.
And what are you teaching?
Victor. You got
3 steps for our young people, Baltimore City, or for parents watching this show.
That they got to do?
Absolutely.
Own their own education.
How?
By supplementing what they're not getting.
How do you know what you don't know?
Oh, you do. The parents know. They're just fighting every single day.
Some of them don't.
Well,
some of them don't know their own history. I just did a skit on McMecken Street. Are you familiar?
From McMecken Street, yes. Yeah.
You know who George McMecken was?
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of us don't. This building wouldn't be here probably if it weren't for the likes of a George McMecken.
Yeah.
You know who he is, right, Counselor? George McMecken, Ashby Hawkins, they leaned on J. Barry Mahul, the father of apartheid in Baltimore.
So no, we have to own our own education, right? And I mean, there's layers to that, right? I think you have to be willing to suffer and not just give. So giving is easy. Everyone just gives, right? Suffering is, are you willing to suffer for what you believe in, right? And then the third thing is you have to be tenacious and unapologetic about what you want to do, what you want and where you want to go. And I think that's what we're missing. And that's what I've heard over the 200,000 home visits is it's not built for them. They realize it, that it's not built for them. Let me give you this tangible example that reinforces why systems are not built for our students, right? So we coming out of the pandemic and we know that chronic absenteeism is a major problem, right? Chronic absenteeism has always been a challenge. Before the pandemic, during the pandemic, after the pandemic, whatever the case may be, there's always been students that did not respond to traditional education. I was one of them. I was kicked out of 5 high schools, right? So something as simple as knocking on a door. So when you and I lived in the neighborhood, or the student or the teachers lived in the neighborhood where we were growing up, they would just come knock on the door if they didn't see you, right? So, but you can't do business without a purchase order. In school systems, you need a purchase order, right, to do business. It takes you 6 to 8 weeks just to get a purchase order to do work that is necessary for students. Why? Because systems and structures are not set up for students. And that's what Concentricity says. It says, deconstruct everything that we have and construct it around students to get the results that we need. And that's not what we're doing.
How can people get your book?
It's on Amazon. It's a bestseller. Shout out to everybody who has supported it. And it's simple. It's not all about this what. It's about the why and the how. And so that's what Concentricity is.
Good. David, thank you for joining us.
Appreciate it,
morning.
your brother.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Keep being a hell raiser.